Hello, hello. My name is Ame. I'm the Afro-Queer Coach, and thanks for tuning in. I wanted to make a personal goal, to post at least one video a week, so here we go. Something that I was planning to record about earlier this week, and I still think it's a good idea, is accountability. Accountability has been on my mind a lot lately. Because I'm really thinking about how I show up for my friends and my loved ones, how I show up for myself, and how I show up for my community. Because, I come from a legacy of strong African women and men who have struggled and fought for their humanity, for their liberation, for their self-determination. So I really do feel accountable to those legacies, and I really want to internalize the fact that it's my duty to get free and to help the people that I love and the communities that I care about also get free. So that's kind of like the broad spectrum feeling that I'm holding right now as far as accountability goes. And because of that, it means that, I have a lot that I have to work to unlearn, I grew up learning to be transphobic, and I grew up learning to be anti-Black. It's never been more important to me to actively center Blackness, transness, queerness, all the things that I've been trained to take for granted or ignore or hate. And I don't mean in my case, not outward like violence towards people, but just those internalized thoughts that I might hold, from years of conditioning that, make me feel some type of way about, my dark skin, or make me hold my womanhood in a way that excludes trans and intersex women. In fact, this whole women's march that's been going on this weekend, empowering as it may be for some women, namely white women, is still something that just was very cringy for me, looking at from the outside, very cringy in terms of the ways that people were defining womanhood as, vaginas and pussies and all that, or like, the idea of having silent marches, right? When we're fighting like hell to keep our sisters alive. Like, we're fighting like hell to make sure that families aren't being separated and separated across, borders and prison bars and stuff. So we're fighting like hell, and silence just doesn't seem to be, in my opinion, the accountable way to address the violence that's going on right now for us. So that's the big message that I'm feeling right now around accountability. It's like, how do we show up in a way that honors the fight that people have every single day? And then, it's one thing to talk about these big social things, but like, what does it mean to be accountable to our friends and loved ones in our very, local community and spaces? What does it mean? This actually reminds me of a couple of years ago, being in a situation where, my partner and I and a group of our friends, we're, clothes hanging out all the time, and we didn't know that there was a woman who was in our circle that was actually being abused by her partner. And finding that out was shocking, because kind of like you go back into the catalog of like, oh my gosh, look at all of this terrible advice that I gave her that must have kind of supported her, encouraged her to stay in this relationship. And that was a really big lesson, how how am I accountable to my friends? Like, does that mean sometimes that you say the truth, even if you don't think that it's what they want to hear? Does that mean that you don't look at each other as perfect just because they're your friends, right? Like you don't want to ignore the signs and the red flags just because they're your friends or your lovers. I learned and this is where I think this definition of accountability that one of my coaches brought up really sticks for me. He was saying that accountability is in big part taking account of your role in whatever the situation is. Okay, so in that situation, I had to go back, into the memories and really take account. What did I do that perpetuated this? Because saying that I didn't isn't good enough, right? Saying that I didn't isn't good enough. We let her down. So what did I personally do? And how can I undo this? And how can I meet her where she's at to give her what she needs from me to know that, I'm trying to take responsibility for my part in it, right? And of course, everybody has their own relationships and everybody makes their own choices, but we're still a community. We still roll in packs. We still roll with the tribe, and sometimes your tribe lets you down and you want to have a sense of accountability amongst each other, because that is love. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about is just personal accountability and how you stay accountable to yourself. And that is something that takes constant and deliberate practice, right? To like check into yourself and say, why am I not wanting to do this? Like I'm a big procrastinator. Like that's always been me as a student, especially. That's my student style. Okay. Is to procrastinate. And, to take account of the things that get in the way, that's something that I don't really do a lot in my student life, right? I don't sit there and go, well, what am I actually doing? I don't reflect so much on what I'm actually doing instead of studying. I'm just like, look, as long as I get the A, I'm good. But sometimes that doesn't work, especially in other areas of life. So I'm really making a goal for myself this year to really take account of what I need to go on and succeed, and watch my cats getting up here. What I need to succeed, to do what I need to do for myself, and how I can take account and learn from the messages that are in my personal history, right? Like how can I look back in the past 24 hours, the past 2 weeks, and say, well, this is what I've been doing, and what can I learn about this? What are the messages that my life over the past couple of days is telling me? And a lot of people have ways of doing that reflection. It can be done in meditation, it can be done in prayer, it can be done in journaling, it can be done in contemplation while you're driving to work, while you're exercising. There really is no wrong way to reflect, as long as you're taking the time to take account of your life and your choices, and being open to the lessons that might come from that. So anyways, I just wanted to throw this out there real quick. It's a Sunday. It's been a good day so far. Here's the cat. There she goes. I knew she was gonna come up here. She always does this. So anyways, I hope that this was something good to reflect on. I will certainly try to get some more videos up soon. I'm gonna also plan on sharing some lessons from the learning community that I'm a part of right now, things that I'm learning from my mentors and my peer coaches, and yeah, I think I might also try to find some other interesting videos and share them or like them for this YouTube account so that you all can see what I've been looking at and why. So thanks so much for listening. I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful day and a great week, and bye-bye.